Sports nerds, and welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am 1/5 of your host, Andrew Faubert. Joined with me are two others of the fifths of the North Sports Dynasties. To my left or to your right, depending on what side of the monitor you're on, Mr. Alex Loosemore of Restoring the Roar. How the fuck are we doing tonight, buddy?
Doing well. Excited to go over these predictions we got here and see where we differ.
Yeah, and we got below us, but never mind. I'm still never mind. We're not even going to talk about anything to do with where you are right now. But the man, the myth, the legend, the Falcons analyst himself, the man who's got Bajan, the man who almost cried on draft night, him and himself, Kyle Yacey. How the hell are we doing tonight?
We're fucking surviving, boys. You know, we're still getting over the hangover from the Oilers losing the fucking Stanley Cup, but the race. But whatever, we're hanging in there. We're getting excited for football season, so going to be more excited to talk predictions.
Yes. Also, I forgot to say this show off the boards. Oh wait, I'm wearing the wrong shirt. Here, I thought I was wearing the wrong shirt. I'm actually wearing a Tampa Bay Buccaneer shirt. Why? Beats the fuck out of me. It's like, what the hell has been up with my Buccaneers anyway? So, game Washington versus Atlanta. Who wins Stanley Cup?
Well, that's an easy Atlanta W shot. We don't need to talk about that. We'll just move past
that. Everybody, before we get started, if you like what you see, remember to like this show, drop a follow, drop a share, do all the stuff. Tell all your friends. NSD is doing off-season content. That means we're doing shows. Chris and Sid are obviously doing Wednesday. Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Their show.
Yeah, they're back on Wednesdays now.
Their show changes more than the amount of genders that are out there every year. So, I don't understand.
Say that.
What?
Can't say that.
What? Sorry. My apologies is what Deshaun Watson said and nothing else. Anyway, let's continue on. This is NXT. We are proudly sponsored, but not for long, by ZAGNIF Apparel, ladies and gentlemen. ZAGNIF. You know what? We're doing this today. I don't know how this is going to be very.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that what you're about to see is not scripted. He is going to be taking off his clothes. So just prepare yourself, hide your children, and just be prepared for what you're going to see. Thank you.
The opinions of Andrew Faubert do not reflect the rest of the people at NSD.
I know. I was about to
ZAGNIF Apparel, look at the Yeah. Oh, that flankers.
Looks like some good material.
Buddy, you gotta come pick up your stuff.
Yeah, I should actually.
Look it. It literally looks like I can rob something, possibly. Or like,
yeah, that's what we want the advertisement to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no. Or I guess if you're in Alberta, if you need something to cover your mouth because of the fucking fires going on.
Over here where I'm at, like with Tasquin, it is just like it's nuts, man. Like it is so orange and smoky.
My sister literally just flew in today. Not my biological sister. She's like my best friend from Thunder Bay. But my sister flew in, and she's like, bruh, it is burning in this motherfucker. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
You know what else is burning? The sales of ZAGNIF apparels, ladies and gentlemen, are burning up just like Alberta. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Use that code word, boobs15. Hey, what?
He's on a fucking roll tonight. My God.
I am on a roll, just like these fires are rolling through these fucking forests in Alberta.
Here we go.
I can't tell what's got more fire in their bush, man.
I know what doesn't, though. Let's have a big Buccaneers. Let's talk about that.
Oh.
Before we get into that, listen, ZAGNIF. Remember to get your stuff, boobs15, code word. They got shirts, they got shoes, they got this, they got ladies apparel.
Jackets, leggings.
Second code is tank for me. Tank for me.
Tank for me. That's right.
Tank for me.
I can't see anything right now, and I am scared. I am lost. Anyways, ZAGNIF apparel, ladies and gentlemen. Code word. Whoa, Andrew, you look like that shirt covering your face. That you're competing on Gordon Ramsay's show, and you. It's always raw. You never cooked anything of anything. All right, you know what? I can't even do a proper Gordon Ramsay right now. Anyways, ZAGNIF apparel, ladies and gentlemen. We also, you like hockey? Love hockey? Want to listen to a couple Oilers fans talk about their beloved teams? Talk playoffs? McDavid and how he's going to Toronto since they get a new GM, and that's all he's the new.
We know that's false. We know that's false. He already said he's not going anywhere with Draisaitl. We're just gonna burn this right now.
Sid has already stated it in the group chat.
Sid hasn't watched the full season of hockey. His opinion does not matter.
Crosby is the greatest hockey player of all time and on the ice right now. And I can't believe I just said that as a Red Wing fan, and I didn't.
Yeah, we're just gonna do that. So no more blasphemy comes out of your fucking mouth the rest of the show.
Yeah, why don't you kiss Sidney Crosby? You fucking love him so much.
My God, I do not. He took a Stanley Cup away from me and him, okay?
Yeah.
We not gifted. They really did earn it. It took 7 fucking games. Assholes. Anyways, speaking of Sid, not Crosby, Sid Swinton has Squid Rip card. That was a transition and a half. Oh, I am on a roll. And we all know what else is rolling. The waves, the oceans. Which would be really nice around here in Alberta right now. Sorry. Sid does card breaks. I really should not be making jokes about it, but I understand that there is a lot of views coming in right now for Andrew doing what he's doing.
You know what else broke?
What?
You know what else broke? Drew Brees' final game.
Damn.
Damn.
Sorry.
Tom Brady is their daddy. We also have another thing coming. NSD stand by it, which I am one of the first victims. I have been laid victim to it because for some fucking reason, this draft ended up being completely different than we all thought, which we should have expected. But the NSD stand by it segments begin, and they still will. This right that you see behind me here, if you're tuning in, is not final and official going into next season, like me and Alex were stating in the background there. Kyle will give his by August. Sid and Chris will give theirs by August, obviously. Which, by the way, again, check out Terribly Toxic, Restoring the Roar, Off the Boards. I do the Maple Bucks show when I'm not busy, and I actually have something to talk about the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And everybody's all happy, gung ho, and oh my God, back in Mayfield. Who got playoffs and shit.
I'm happy when you're happy.
Oh, you're happy when I'm happy? Also, by the way, I forgot. Since I'm on a roll, why don't we just keep it going?
I don't understand him. I don't.
I know, right? And we're gonna get. I should have put that in the edits there. By the way, yeah, we are 11 minutes into the show, and I haven't even told you what we're going to talk about today. We're going over the 23-24 season and what we think is going to happen. Obviously, we kind of teased that. NHL playoffs, the Final Four. Who's going to get the Stanley Cup? Speaking of four, last night, 4 fucking overtimes.
That was insane.
Almost 5. 4 fucking overtimes. We'll talk about that.
Just gut feeling that Florida's going all the way. Gut feeling, it's telling me right now.
NBA playoffs and draft. Wemby is going to San Antonio. Hornets have lost again, and they lost more than just obviously the first overall pick. They lost a lot of money that came with that first overall pick. And who? Excuse me.
Well, you want to talk about lost that draft? Oh, I'll save it for later. But Hornets are not the biggest losers. I would say that much.
Also true. But who takes home that Larry O'Brien, ladies and gentlemen? Dynasty Corner, we're going to finish it off here tonight with the follow-up from the rookie draft that one of our leagues has officially finally done. The other one, I don't know how close we are. We'll actually get a check on that live on the show here at some point.
I'm just going to go take a look right now.
I'm actually turning down my phone right now as well to make sure everything is all good. And then, obviously we'll bullshit. We'll check out the comment section here. Seeing how everybody's doing. I see Sean Spencer's in the house. I think that is Corey Brown also in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Where was it? Lions go 20-0 from Dan Campbell. That's obvious, bearing injuries and gambling during the playoffs. PHC Prize Patrol is here. Scott Taylor, I should also say, obviously, there is prizes coming down the wire here at NSD for next year. A couple of them are going to be pretty fucking cool. Including something me and Alex have been holding on to, apparently as a hidden treasure that we had no fucking idea until somebody.
What's that, each other?
Kyle.
We're not human trafficking each other, Kyle. Come on.
I saw an opportunity. I took it.
We will have prizes, so stay tuned over the summer for that. Maple Leaf GM depart. Wade Leaf salary, mess 10 guys free agent. Dude, they got more than.
Let's actually talk about that. You know what? Can we diverse a little bit?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let's talk about the Maple Leafs, right? So I would say personally, the way that they've been trending, especially with the moves they've made, they've made it so a team like they could win. You know what I mean? They have a strong offense, they have a very strong defense. They had a great goaltending this year, right? And I'm not a Maple Leafs fan whatsoever. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, what is next? Is Kyle Dubas, him leaving or being, I guess, fired essentially, because that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Is that the difference maker though? Honestly, because there's been a lot of controversy that he was the man making the moves and they weren't the right moves, so it's just going to change the organization.
See, but here's the thing: when he made the trades at the deadline, everyone's like, "Oh, these are all the right moves." Like every time he's made the move, it's these are the moves to get them a title. Oh, these are the championship moves. Oh, these are the right moves. So. Now that they didn't get the title, he's the fall guy. I don't understand that personally. But I think whoever is the new GM of the Leafs is going to have a hell of a time because, like that says, you've got probably close to half your salary in 4 or 5 guys, and that many free agents and draft picks coming and going. Like it's going to be a struggle for whoever is the GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs for the 2023 season.
It is like TSN keeps talking about because now all of a sudden they've got content to keep them up until they got content to keep them going until fucking October, until like puck drop for the first game. And it's gonna be like, is Mitch Marner or Austin Matthews gonna be on this roster on day one? And the short answer of it is more than likely yes, because you can't afford, to start really screwing around with that roster unless, and I know Kyle's here and he's just going to shut it down, right? And I joke about it, but the reality is there's a certain someone who lives in Edmonton and has the C in Edmonton eventually does want to play for the T and go live in the T with all the money he's made from the E. So something like it's going to get sniffed around. It's never going to be traded because here's the thing. No GM No management is ever going to be stupid enough to trade the great one in Edmonton ever again.
No
one's going to do it.
Never happen.
Now
that's okay. Like, I'll explore your possibility. I will explore it. Okay. But it wouldn't be McDavid. It wouldn't be McDavid. It would be Draisaitl. I don't want it to happen.
Nope.
But if we were to lose any of our star power, it would be Draisaitl. And then even then, at that point, Hyman probably would have already went, and as well, Nuge.
Oh no, Nuge would stay. If anybody, it would be Hyman. I agree, but like at that point, and Chris will probably come watch this later on and be like, Andrew, shut the fuck up. But it's Nurse, and it's just a contract.
Maybe $9.5 million.
Yeah, I agree that he's actually done good. And if you start picking any of these guys away from this roster on the Oilers or the Maple Leafs, it's essentially done, because you can't expect to take something from them and expect them to do good again. Like it would not make sense. It'd be no different. Like when the Red Wings were good in the 90s there, we all know the infamous story of when Holland went into the locker room to Yzerman, Chelios, Lindstrom, and someone else, and said, we can go get Brendan fucking Shanahan. I just need all of you guys to take like $250,000 pay cut. And they all agreed like right there because they know what they can do. And I'm not saying the Oilers won't do that, and I'm not saying the Leafs won't do that, because I think actually at the end of the day, McDavid's contract should just state that he's done it. So they're doing good. I like what the Oilers did, and I like what the Maple Leafs did. It just so happens that we all forgot that the Panthers won the President's Trophy last year and fucking went and traded for arguably the best scoring goon that we've seen since fucking Brad Marchand. So a couple comments I did want to get to quick before we get too far, because I see a lot of people tuning in tonight. Thank you all for being here. Start over again every year, which is true. It starts up the top with Maple Leafs, their own by a board of directors. That's a receipt for disaster. Now that's a good point, because like Rogers Entertainment's also in that bitch. And if you really read about the Maple Leafs, it's so hard to do anything, because it's the one fan base and entertainment unit, like business, I guess you would say, that is dying for a championship. They all just want to
they sell the most merchandise. They sell the most merchandise in the NHL.
The Maple Leafs jersey is in every single continent and thriving.
Yeah.
Like when people see the Maple Leaf, they think of Canada, and I respect them for that. But I remind them, I'm like, the Red Wings actually have the colors of Canada, just to let you know.
Yep, damn right.
Well, even the Montreal Canadiens do, technically.
Oh, don't.
They got the blue, though.
Yeah, they got the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're American. How dare you?
The American colors, yeah.
Yeah. I have a question for you, hockey boys. I realize Connor Bedard is an apparent generational talent, but can you imagine the haul the Blackhawks would get for the first oh, my God.
They wouldn't do it. That'd be so blockbuster.
They wouldn't. And Nick, thank you for tuning in. My question is, I guess, would you trade it or draft Bedard? You draft Bedard.
You have to draft them.
You have to.
You
have to. Me and Matt have talked about it. We actually had Matt Bannon, my other co-host, on
2 weeks ago.
I just did this last week too. Oh my God. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the hockey show I do with him on 1252 Sports. I always forget. I'm such an idiot. But yeah, it's not off the boards. One-timer hockey show. Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
He's a big Blackhawks fan, and he lives in Chicago as well. And I texted him when it happened, and he had no idea because he was out somewhere, I think at a concert or something like that. And he said he looked down at his phone in the middle of the concert and was like, what? And just goes and searches it up really quick, and he goes, no fucking way. And ever since then, he's just been like, I am forever.
My
God.
I was at the McBride's for that. And
that's right.
That family is Blackhawk fans.
Yeah, well, I still remember him being off the Blackhawks for a little bit, being like, and blah, blah, blah. Because I still remember the day where he won, not to get too personal, but he won a significant amount of money, and we'll let him come on one day and talk about it, which would be hilarious. But he bought some sports stuff, and he had Blackhawk freaking autographs like you wouldn't believe. He had a Patriot jersey or Patriot helmet, I think, a Brady helmet at one point, dude. So here's the thing. Also, with that being said, I don't think there's a big enough trade package for Bedard. That's just personally me. Chicago.
I could tether like potentially like it being like Connor McDavid or Connor Bedard. Can you imagine something crazy like that?
Oh my God, Chris would hate it, because then I would be like, looks like all of a sudden someone was worth being traded for. It happened to be Bedard. He'd be like, shut up, Andrew. So 167, too long to win the Stanley Cup. I agree, and that's why, honestly, if they were going to disband this whole thing with the whole Dubas and stuff like that, you should have done it like 2 years ago. You started the rebuild 2 years ago, and you would have had draft picks to have a shot at Bedard and like put him in a Leafs jersey, which everyone would have then fucking hated.
Yeah.
Like, imagine having your own fucking McDavid for 20 years or however long he actually played.
So, do you think though, like Gary Bettman? Do you think Gary Bettman has like a hand in all this? Like, honestly, like it's hard to say he doesn't, man. I don't know. Like,
he doesn't.
Here's the thing. So Ben told me on a post, and I know Ben's out there. I ain't coming at you, Ben. Don't worry. Ben told me that they do the draft live on the like the balls for the NBA. I'm watching. They do. But it's 10 minutes before or 30 minutes before the actual like taping.
You want to know why they don't do it right live on screen?
Because I know that there's other things that can go wrong and like the ball.
Well, I was like, they did it years ago, and the one ball, like they grabbed the ball out and another ball came with it, and they put the ball back in, and they're like, oh my God, it's fucking rigged. Because
that is fair too. Yes.
If you don't win the lottery, everyone's gonna say it's rigged anyways. So.
Then you do the hand thing. No, you can't see the hand. Just one person goes, well, then I know people are going to be like, they're cold balls and blah, 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 blah. And all that.
They'll be like somebody sitting there fucking handing them the ball or like.
Yeah, but then even looking at Canadian teams, though, like even looking at Canadian teams, like look what ended up happening, right? Like look how many times, like since I guess the last Canadian team won in 1993, that a Canadian team has went to the finals, right? Which pretty much like Edmonton's done it. From 1993, who else? Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto. I think actually made it to the second round or something like that. Montreal went more than one.
Calgary made it to a final.
Exactly. And you're telling me all this like for some reason, again, talent aside, right? That a Canadian team didn't win it. That's just it's odd to me. It's super fishy.
The other side of it too is it should have been in 93 a Maple Leaf and Montreal Canadian final. But the phantom high stick call and stuff like that with the Wayne Gretzky situation is the reason. The NHL, and that's one of the things where I'm like, the NHL wanted to get Gretzky to the fucking finals because they're like, oh, look at hockey's working in LA. Huh? Yeah, guess what? You should have waited another 20 years for a guy named Jonathan Quick. Thank you very much. By the way, I want to get to the comments here. Red Wings don't belong in Eastern Conference.
Agreed.
I differ on it. I think I kind of want to play Boston and Toronto and Montreal all the time. But also at the same time, I do miss, playing Nashville like 4 times a year and watching Datsuk just go like, doo-doo-doo. By the way, Datsuk's highlight package is literally just the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators. Why is Ben Cornette on camera? Well, I think Ben Cornette actually has a show on tonight, so he's probably getting prepped for his show. We are doing, we're going to put the StreamYard in there later on, but obviously check out Ben Cornette. Ben, you got to send me a couple like snaps so I can put them up here and, show you off like I do Let's Talk Football and stuff like that, which by the way, Sean Spencer, thank you very much for being here as well. There's your Let's Talk Football. Oh, it's the background. I did it wrong. Oh, shit. Dog. Wait, it's right there. Yay.
Fucking believable.
I know. I try to be a nice
one fucking job.
It doesn't matter who Blackhawks draft. They trade away like Brendan Hagel, Go Lightning, Connor Brown. That's still Corey Brown in the comments. I appreciate him being in here. Yeah, but the G-Not trade is not like, come on, dude. I think the Hagel trade was a steal, but like the G-Not trade is like.
I will say, and not to take any shade towards the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they're definitely going to be on the decline soon. I think like there's people be getting pretty old on that team, and
think of how long they were on top, and now you said, they're getting older, they're getting beat up, like they're physically worn out. Playing that many extra games for 3, 4, 5 years in a row will do that to you.
Oh yeah,
all these balls talk. I was like, okay, now I gotta get to the comment section because I don't think we're saying balls. And I I see what freaking Kyle said in the comment section. I probably did because I smoke a lot of weed. So, like, whatever. Thoughts on the Arizona possibly relocating?
It's not possible. It's happening.
Okay. No, yeah. So what? Okay, let's just like throw it out because I have 2 destinations that make the most fucking sense.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
And not even to be biased, Atlanta makes a lot of fucking sense to get a team back.
It does. I just don't think disagree. The Coyotes. But go ahead.
Well, I'm not saying. I also think that when they relocate, I don't think they're keeping the Coyotes logo. I think it's going to be different.
No,
I'm telling you right now. I think it's just a scrap.
Okay, what's the second city?
Quebec.
I mean, okay, so yeah, definitely the logo's gone at that point.
Yeah, no, like, I'm saying it's gone. Like, it's absolutely gone.
Christopher Cole,
I've got 2 different places.
What do you got?
I've got Kansas City.
Then
they're just trying to throw as many sports teams there. And the one I've actually been hearing quite a bit is Houston.
So Houston does make sense. I like this one. Atlanta Thrashers should be resurrected.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
If you can make
it fell flat on its face.
I know. But that's because they decided to take Kovalchuk. They decided to
But here's the thing. We're talking about the Coyotes franchise, who has been inept for so many damn years.
Yeah.
And you're gonna try and throw that inept franchise in Atlanta? That's where it doesn't work.
Yeah, but we're this is a different story. First of all, okay, let's take a step back because Atlanta has a way bigger fan base in all of their sports compared to Arizona. Okay, so let's just start with that. Okay, and then number 2, how would it fall flat on its face in the sense that you're going to be selling tickets? Because at the end of the day, the way I view it,
no, I said it fell flat on its face.
Okay. My apologies. But regardless, the point of what I'm trying to say is you're going to move to a different location essentially to sell. Because it hasn't been doing well, right? So Atlanta, Quebec, even with the rebranding, you're still profiting.
Well, here's the thing. I like this comment because the Quebec, I would rule out too small of a market and not enough business advertising. You're not wrong, but at the end of the day, that fan base would turn around and be like, here's my arena and here's my money. Because I got 500,000 or I can't remember the population of that city, but it's like 82% of the population of that city is willing to give money for that hockey team. So it's like it's a weird, awkward balance there.
Honestly, like Quebec City, Ben, just quickly, Quebec City is literally like the financially responsible parent of Canada.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
Ben Cornett, Salt Lake City. That's the one out of the 2 that I was going to give as well.
I think Atlanta and Quebec City would both be good for new like expansion teams.
I agree with that.
I think when you're moving this Coyotes franchise, you got to be very careful where you place them.
Now, that is why, and I said this on Twitter. Alex probably saw my tweet on it. Chris replied because Chris also agrees with me on this. Johnny also said Atlanta would be a good spot. That city is hungry. I agree. Bringing a team back there would be financial. It'd be financially good for them for like 10 to 15 years for sure. But Atlanta's got that, and we all know, and it's nothing on Kyle or anything like that. It's just a fan base. It kind of goes like this sometimes. So they ain't going to come and spend the money if it's like $450 for tickets and stuff like that, and you ain't got nobody on the ice. So I get that. But the other one, and this wouldn't happen, but it's my other throw-in, because I agree it's probably going to be Houston more than anything. But I like the Salt Lake City one. I've always said Salt Lake City is also going to be hungry. You can't really call a team the racist, though, so I don't necessarily think that would work out perfectly well for Salt Lake City. The one city, though, I'm going to throw out there, and I always go with it, is Regina.
Oh, yes. You know what? Absolutely. Didn't even think about that.
That would be another fun one.
Because if Regina heard that they would get, you all of a sudden have Mosaic Stadium, which I believe, and I'd have to double check this. Chris would smack me for this. Mosaic Stadium is in Saskatoon, or is now moved to Regina.
It's always been in Regina.
It has. Okay, so it's in Regina. Now all of a sudden you put the fucking hockey team there. Whether the CFL works out or not, you take that fan base of a CFL team and what they do, and the road trips they go on, and all of a sudden have them go to like Winnipeg. So all of a sudden you got to drive 4 hours.
I was going to say Regina, Winnipeg.
Yeah, Regina goes to Winnipeg 4 hours or 5 hours east. Then all of a sudden you go to Edmonton and Calgary, 4 to 5 hours west, and a little bit more to Seattle and everybody.
It's a little more than that.
Okay, fair. But yeah, you can do something there, which would be cool. I like the Orlando one. I'm gonna star that one. That was really good.
That'd be fun.
Regina.
I'll look it up right now.
I think it's like 300,000. I've done this a couple times on NHL.
By the way,
relocation. So
for Saskatchewan itself, it's a 5-hour drive west. Mm-hmm. If that's what you were looking at. And I think there you enter I think 5 hours is North Battleford, pretty much.
Yeah. See, now I personally got to, Saskatoon in like 3.5 hours my first time around, but that was just because I was like, wee!
Yeah.
I like, but aren't you setting up fans to come up with a vulgar nickname if they don't win? Regina Vagina. Regina Vaginas.
So a lot of vaginas. 250,000.
Sorry?
250,000-ish.
Yeah. So you could, it wouldn't be the easiest thing, but Winnipeg has made it work with their population, and they just put it downtown. So Regina, you can kind of get that Midwestern guys. Like some people from the South would come up for those games. You get Saskatoon to come down. I'd even go to a couple of those games because now I'd be like, fuck yeah, like the Regina Cougars or something like that. Play on words, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Regina, the Cougars. Like, yeah.
Well, and if you're looking at it like where you're going to place the arena in Regina, at least last time I was there, Mosaic was kind of in an area where you could build other stuff. It was still kind of an open area. Now, that was 4 or 5 years ago before they built the new one. Well, they were building the new one, but there was still room there to build an arena. You could kind of do that entertainment complex.
And to top it all off, to even put the cherry on top of what you're saying, one of the key investor owners of Mosaic is the gentleman who was in the running for the Washington Commanders. Is that George Ostopoulos or whatever his name is there?
Or George Stropolopoulos?
Yeah. So all of a sudden, if this ever were to even be like a sniff possibility, it could definitely work. So I like to move the Coyotes to Orlando, Florida, or Kentucky. I like what Alex was saying too about Kansas City, put them as the scouts. Patrick Mahomes would probably go into ownership.
I was just going to say, and you have Mahomes that wants to get a hockey team there. Yep. He himself almost has enough money to move that team there.
Yep.
So
now, good transition. Speaking of money and money lost, this NBA draft lottery just happened. And man, oh man, the Charlotte Hornets got hit really hard. Not getting the first overall pick, being teased, like literally teased, like, oh. Wait.
This is, I think I saw something since Shaq was drafted. This is the 5th time where they've been right up in the running for a generational big man, and they've placed second every single time.
Yep. Oh, and it just sucks.
Brutal.
And it sucks because everybody knows, anybody who knows me knows I support. No, I'm just kidding. I think right now this is like wearing one of those like Donald Trump hats, isn't it? Like those. What are they? What were those Trump hats called? You know what I'm called?
The Make America Great Again.
Yeah, the Make America Great Again.
The mega hats. Yeah.
Let John Morant shoot again. You know what I mean? So, sorry, I'm trying to get us canceled, guys. I really am. I'm also doing this just so I can actually get like clips and do a video, which, by the way, stay tuned. If you haven't seen the video that we did of playing Jeopardy and stuff like that, it's pretty fun. I think I did a good job. Since Kyle was the only one to tell me I did.
You did do a good job.
I like the post.
I didn't actually see that you liked the post.
On Twitter.
I got crickets from Sid and Chris and shit. I was like,
I watched it. You put it.
No, you were fine. Yeah, you're not getting fucking yelled at. No one's technically getting yelled at. I was just disappointed.
He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
I'm very disappointed. I cried.
Are you as disappointed as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2023-2024 season?
No, we're getting to that. All right. What more disappointment right now is the Charlotte Hornets and the Houston Rockets all losing
out. The Detroit Pistons
and the Detroit Pistons.
fucking losers from this. You want to talk about tanking? Those motherfuckers didn't even win 20 games.
Listen,
and then
the crime rate in Detroit is only going to go up if our teams do not start winning.
It's all about the Edmonton Stingers. Let's just stop, okay?
Like, the Detroit Lions winning cannot stop the violence in Detroit, okay? We need the Red Wings. We need the Pistons.
Jared
the Tigers are about
is
500,
the guy.
So.
Fair.
I agree.
Now, what they should do, in all honesty, this is just me. When I watched this team this year, before all the crap that happened and stuff like that, this team reminded me of the bad boy Pistons back in the day. Like the new age version of it where they get away with the stuff, they deal with the suspensions, and they just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, can the Pistons literally right now trade their entire roster except for Cunningham to the Memphis Grizzlies for everything that they have and give Ja Morant the max deal? Just say fuck it, okay? And then just have him and Cunningham, and you put him through the program, and then all of a sudden Ja comes out 2 years later, just like Kawhi Leonard, says nothing. Just, you know what I mean? And then by that time, Little Caesars Arena will have so much playoffs going on because fucking Daddy Cider and the Iser plan starts working, hopefully. And the Pistons
say it better.
How long? Okay, hold on. Sorry to go back to Ogden. How long are you giving it? I'm giving it 2 more years until I start like actually complaining here. Next year, you better.
It depends how much progress we get.
That's where I'm at. 2 years.
Yeah, I need 2 more. Like next year, they better push for playoffs. And if we don't get it, I can deal with it as long as we're close.
Agreed.
The year after that, it better be playoffs or Daddy, I'm not happy. So
then that seat gets quite hot.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So back to basketball though. The other thing I wanted to get to as well with the basketball is the fact that we got the Final Four. And the Final Four right now is 110% the exact same as it was in the bubble. Just different seedings. So who takes
That's right, it is.
It is.
I didn't clue into that.
And so everybody's saying, oh, it's a bubble championship. Okay, here's your redo. Let's go. Now,
looking at the score of the game going on right now, we got game 2 of Miami-Boston.
Yeah, what is that score?
7 minutes left in the third. It's 61-60 for Boston.
Wow, dude.
So it is razor thin again.
Again. I watched that game, what was that, 2 days ago technically, and oh my goodness gracious, the intensity from both of them, I was amazed. I wanted to get Sean's comment here. He moved to Utah, called them the Mormons. No, Sean. The racists. You might as well call them what your team was before. They would literally accept it. Dan Snyder would buy the hockey team in Salt Lake City.
Listen, stop. We are post Dan Snyder era. Okay?
We are.
All right.
Yeah. Round of applause again. Loser. Round of applause for Sean and all the Commander fans and Will. We applaud you. I'm just waiting for the Glazers to sell the Bucks now. That'd be great.
You can now raise your right hand up, not just your left.
I was about to put this comment on, and you're like, raise your right hand. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, Kyle. Do you support Donald Trump? And that is totally okay. That is your political view, and you have that right. Just please not on NSD. Regina is no different from the college basketball school named Oral Roberts. Wait.
Yeah, Oral Roberts is the college team.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, Roberts.
Remember they made that run 2 years ago?
Hey, Roberts, he be getting that A. And Roberts, he be getting that A. Sorry.
Well, look.
Dude,
yeah, they do. They do.
See, Sean, it's comments like these that are going to start getting me into March Madness. I'm putting money on Oral Roberts every year now. I don't care. Super Bowl, I think, is with us here. No way the Lakers win the championship. Old talent. I kind of agree. I told you I love video.
That series, in my opinion, even though the Lakers are down 2-0, is still up for grabs. Because if I'm not mistaken, the difference in score in those 2 games, I'm going to look it up here, I believe is single digit.
This is true.
They lost by 5 on Thursday. and 6. So the difference in the two games is 11 points. So to me, especially with those two being in Denver, with it going to LA, the Lakers could absolutely get on a roll here. I think the Lakers kind of found something with Hachimura covering Jokic and allowing Davis to roam the paint a bit and be the shot blocker that he needs to be. So I think this series is going to go 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, it's definitely going a little bit more than we all expected. I'm actually just I see. Yeah, so Kyle, you want to tell everybody where they can find you, and thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can find me Friday nights on NSD. We talk everything from football to basketball to hockey and all the shit and shenanigans with fucking these two clowns and me, and the other two too. And
the other two
and
too.
Then you can find me on Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover. Time and date to be determined still. But you can catch me on there. So thanks guys for having me on. Always a pleasure, and I will be on cam. Woo! Next week.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you for being here. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
Peace. All right. So a couple other comments was that Salt Lake shouldn't have any team. Deep Throat University. Jim Melvin says, am I the only person in the world who really likes LeBron? No, it's not that I don't like LeBron. I actually give him a lot more respect than I think I should when it comes to certain stats and just like the actual eye test. But I also have watched not just The Last Dance, and I've watched a lot of Michael Jordan. Like I went back and watched games, like actual games. Like I watched the game where he put up whatever it was in the finals against Boston there. So
yeah, and to me, LeBron is the best, most talented player to ever do it. Nobody's been able to do the entirety of what LeBron does for as long as LeBron's done it. And it's just when you talk the greatness, the moments, the accolades, everything, that's where Jordan takes it. Jordan's the GOAT. LeBron's the best.
Yes. Now, with that being said, because there's a comment I wanted to get to here. I told you I love the Jeopardy video. You see, someone. No. But that being said, we're actually going to show off the Jeopardy video in a couple quick commercials here. Because Alex has got to go run and grab something quick. And we got to pay the bills, obviously, with the ZAGNIF apparel, which I'll find again and, give them a shout out. But we'll be right back here, ladies and gentlemen, in about 3 to 4 minutes with a couple quick commercials and the Jeopardy video everybody's been talking about. Stay tuned. Steelers, number 75.
Who is Mr. Mean Joe Green?
Try me again, motherfucker.
Kelly is correct.
Yeah.
Go.
Who's Champ Bailey?
That's a double jeopardy right there, ladies and gentlemen. Double jeopardy.
What is a superflex?
Superflex is correct.
Yeah.
Out of kid, Kyle.
Oh.
I will take owners for 500, please.
Yeah.
I need to get out of here. Fuck.
Holy crap! I have the most passing yards in a Super Bowl. Connor McDavid, that is incorrect.
You son of a bitch.
Chris. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
No, you gotta be kidding. Hit so hard and it's Ed Reed, not Ray Lewis. Are we kidding me here?
Well, I'm fucked.
Alex.
Well, I'm fucked.
That's
Break it down now. 201 points.
you son of a bitch.
All of it. All of it or no balls.
You son of a bitch. Need to wait till the question was done.
You know what? You
What
know
the
what?
fuck is this?
I'm just glad I did the math right and I didn't lose by a point.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
So I'll put you down to. What? Welcome back, sports nerds. I am your host, Andrew Faubert, 1/5 of your host, Andrew Faubert. Joined with me is Alex Loosemore. He is there somewhere. He's just grabbing his food.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm just
okay.
eating. So.
Yeah. He's obviously not going to be live, just like, just taking whatever it is he's eating. Just like, "Gah!" So, we are live here, ladies and gentlemen. North Sports Dynasty's headquarters, which is indubitably forever will be, unless we get sponsored by somebody big, like if Pat McAfee makes a network and stuff like that. It will always be from my basement. We even did the draft show from my basement. That was so much fun. It was long lasting. Oh my god, I forgot how much it was. And here I wanted to do like fucking elephants and circus parades and shit and just go all out. I would have needed so much cocaine, and I had literally only enough for Alex. So, no, ladies and gentlemen, we're also sponsored by ZAGNIF Apparel. Let me get that banner. There it is. There's the banner. Use the code WORD. FOOBS15. Get 50% off all ZAGNIF Apparel stuff, including shirts like this, which I bought it, and it's Kyle's because we got some other stuff here. So there it is. It's really nice material. I don't know why I ever traded this to Kyle. I might actually just have to steal it because. No, that's rude. That's rude. And I'm live, and I'm stating that I steal. I don't steal. Respectively. We also have NSD shirts. Let me just pull this thing right over here, right there. NSD shirts. It's hanging there because we got one up for grabs this year. Sending Sean's eventually. Sean, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting yours. I know that you want it very, very badly, and I'm going to get it to you there. Pause. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow. We are here almost every Friday. Depends on how emotionally unstable I am. I love being able to make jokes at myself. Considering I am the biggest, it only makes sense that I should be able to joke about myself.
Damn.
Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm only here for a good time. Not a long time. So do some cocaine, because sun can't shine every day. And do heroin. Crack cocaine in the city. Sorry.
Once again, the thoughts and opinions of Andrew Faubert do not reflect those of his peers.
Yeah, all the things that I do are not necessarily what all NSD hosts do, but there is some that may indulge in some of the activities that I do indulge in. And you can indulge too. Anyways, let's get back to this. Jim Madden said, well said. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Johnny Dean said for you. Thank you for tuning in. I don't despise LeBron. I hate his fans for the most part. I also agree. His fans just piss me off. Sunshine Molki, join us here. Oh, I think it's someone tagging somebody. Tag all your friends. Give me a like, Scott. Because if you give me a like, you'll be into the draw eventually for the shirt. You know it. You know it. If you're here long enough, I might as well just get you one, which I'm probably going to end up doing. I'm going to have to do it in a prize way. Because if I just give it to you, you're not going to like it. You're going to be like, I want to earn it. I want to win it. So we'll find a way for you to win it. Speaking of winning it, we have done the mock draft 1.0 of the season schedule. Obviously, this is only 1.0. The rest of the guys are off for the weekend and doing their own things. Kyle was in a bathtub, for crying out loud, the whole damn show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he was in a bathtub, but I couldn't say anything at the beginning because I didn't want y'all to run away and think that you were going to see the Kyle's wiener or something like that. It wasn't going to happen. We were surprised when we were about to go live that he's like, I'm in a bathtub. But you know, it is what it is. So, I mean, I've done shows in weird, awkward positions. I mean, places as well. So I said positions. Anyway, let's talk about the schedule, or our schedule and what we think is going to happen here. First things first. This is early. We know that injuries are going to happen. We know that, some years major injuries happen in like the first week or two of training camp. So you got to wait till like July or August for us to really get down to the nitty gritty of what we actually think is going to go on. We're going to have a huge show about it because that's probably where most of our NSD standbys are going to come from.
Probably.
Almost guarantee it. Same thing in the comment section for that show. If you guys are trying to get into it, honestly, you just keep tuning into the NSD programs. And at any point in time, if somebody says something on that program that you're just like, that's dumb as shit, which happens on most programs, mostly on this one. Not necessarily everybody else's. I'm not going to throw everybody else under the bus. I'm just the one driving it. So everybody else, though, if you hear something and you call them out in the comment section, you hashtag it so that we know where the hell that hashtag goes. And if all of a sudden they see it and they're like, I don't know about that, right? Then they're going to back up from their dumb take. But if they really think that their take is good and they want to hold true to it, they're good. They fail. And it does not hold true for the NFL season. They're going to have to pick a punishment from the pot of punishments, which is right now called the pot of punishments. I don't think I'll call it anything else. The PP report just sounds, now not very good, I guess. So we're going to instead of PP. PP smack. Anyway. I have mine right here. Alex has got his obviously right here, and he's got his written down. He sent me his, so his is official. The highest team that I have winning games right off the bat, I'm going to start there, is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys right now, just in my opinion, just by overlooking the first little bit, Dallas Cowboys get 12 wins. Nobody else necessarily gets close that you would think for like good teams. But, I got Chicago with 11 wins. So all my Chicago fans, clip it. I'm kind of with you right now. It might change by August, but I'm embracing it.
So lucky we're not doing NSD standby with these ones.
I know, right?
There's a couple I challenge you on. The two you just said are definitely two of them.
Well, Chicago for sure. What was the other one? Oh, Dallas?
Dallas, yeah.
What do you have Dallas as?
I have them as they're a playoff team. They're 9-8.
No.
What running game do they have?
Tony fucking Pollard and if we're actually getting into that conversation, Malik Davis, when he actually touched the ball, had done a fantastic job.
Yeah, as a third running back.
Because they had Zeke. Just like Tony Pollard had to wait a little bit.
Overrated, washed Zeke got more carries than he did.
That was stupid, says Scott. What do you mean? Look, I got your Rams having the 3rd overall pick. You're fine.
Dallas is going to have one of the best defenses in football.
I agree.
The offensive line is aging, which worries me. And it is. Tyron Smith is mid to late 30s.
Not wrong, not wrong.
Same with Zach Martin.
Fair.
And you don't have a running game because you said Tony Pollard. When is Tony Pollard coming back from his broken leg?
Also true.
So
maybe Zeke gets signed again.
Wouldn't shock me, honestly.
Yeah, they kind of need it. I mean, if they are going to run Malik Davis, so. But I counter that with this being the Dallas Cowboys season that they need. So there's the CeeDee Lamb thing. You have the number one target. I like that. The Gallup there and the other company can do a respectable job. I think it's Dak, though. I think Dak finally takes the extra step. Kind of like what we saw with Trevor Lawrence, kind of what we saw with Joe Burrow after the first year there, where everyone's like, Bengals, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Now we're talking the Bengals as like a damn Super Bowl contender every single year. I think he can. And the reason why is because the defense is going to help him out enough against teams like Philly, against teams like the Giants in their division that they got to go up against 4 times. Even the Washington Commanders aren't necessarily a foregone conclusion that they're going to be bad. Kind of throw the Commanders in that category with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers could literally go like 10-7 and 11-6 for all we know. They could also go 5-12, 4-13. Like, we don't know. Same thing with the Commanders. Commanders could go fucking 13 wins. I looked at the schedule and I'm like, there's a possibility that something crazy happens there, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Washington all hinges on Sam Howell because that's a very good roster around Sam Howell.
I like the Chicago amount is Alex Schomburg. Okay.
Yeah.
And which this is just right now. Like, I might have to change it, but like at the end when I did it, and I was like 11 wins for Chicago. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe just a little bit much, but
Chicago was the team we differed the most on.
Yeah, because you have them at 6-11.
Yeah.
Which to them, I think as a franchise would be happy if they just knew that they saw production, like something to be happy about. Like, okay, maybe Justin Fields is the answer going forward.
I absolutely think he is.
I do too.
And to me, what I see in them is the Lions just a year behind. So this year's Bears team is last year's Lions team, in my opinion.
Okay.
Where you'll be in that 6 to 8 or 9 win range. Like, to me, it's between Detroit and Chicago for the division. In my head, that's what it is. And it's, to me, what holds Chicago back this year, and it feels weird saying this about a Chicago team, is their defense. Mm-hmm. If you can tell me who any of their pass rushers are, I'd be shocked. And I'm talking edge guys. They drafted the interior this year. They improved at linebacker. I still don't love what they have at corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they're a year away. And I know people might say where I compare them to last year's Lions and be like, okay, well, you guys got 9 wins last year. Last year was also a much easier schedule.
1,000%.
The AFC West
1,000%.
and the NFC South is tough.
Where is it? Please don't say this is Dallas's year. I've heard this since Jimmy's team disbanded. Now, I don't want to get like too far into that. I think they can make a run. Like, they might make a run at like the NFC finals. Depending on how it would go. Because anything could happen. Like San Francisco had a good run last year. So it just depends on the matchup, depends on the injuries that you get. Anything could happen. Alex Ismo, do you have what I gave Chicago?
Yeah, he had them at 7 and 10.
Okay, so yeah, we're all kind of like, well, besides me being like, haha, but everybody's kind of around the same thing. I might have to go around later on and take a look at it because, like I said, this is all quick. I went through every game as best as I could and was like, you might run it here, might throw it more here with every team. Rams go 17-0. Now, do I win a stupid prize? Every time you tune in, like I said, man. Sean Tucker will be RB2 by midseason. Book it. Now,
I can see it. I can absolutely see that.
There isn't a reason why anybody who was watching knows that we weren't talking too much Dynasty until the rookie draft happened. And it's because I got my fucking sleepers.
Yep.
All of them. I got Tanner McKee, which is like, I would like, fuck it.
That's a Dynasty. Stop it.
please, in Dynasty, like, just don't waste any major value on Tanner McKee. But just to let everybody know, he is technically going to be the backup to Jalen Hurts. And they will probably...
who just had that massive extension and ain't leaving Philly
but
in a very long time.
All it takes is one injury. And I ain't hoping, obviously. But I'm just saying, we all know some things can happen. That's how people get their opportunities. Number 2, Sean Tucker, motherfuckers. Yeah,
I was really hoping he would slide.
Why? He fucking free agency, and then he signs with the Bucks, and it was just like, oh yes. And he came to me, and then my final one is, I hope the next Deshaun Jackson. Give me Tank Dell.
I really like Tank Dell.
I want him to just burn. I want him to burn like Deshaun Jackson did back in the day, just at least for 1 year. And then I'm going to trade him for a stupid package, and he'll do nothing ever again. Also, go ahead.
In our main NSD league there, I was really happy. Like, I only had the 2 4th-round picks, and I walked away with Xavier Hutchinson and Parker Washington, who I feel like both could play fairly big roles in Jacksonville and Houston. But then after the draft, immediately go get Clayton Tune, who's competing with Colt McCoy for the starting job till Kyler gets back.
Yep.
Aiden O'Connell, who's the backup for the fragile Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
And my favorite undrafted guy in the real life draft, and it's not just because he went to Detroit, but Muhammad Ibrahim, the running back from the University of Minnesota. I was just like, I will steal him before anyone else can get their hands on him because I love him. So,
Rams are going to pick the top 5 next year. Falcons win the NFC South. That's kind of the one that I'm more inclined, I guess you would say. Last year's the Giants pick that everybody keeps talking about that I made last year. This year's I'm leaning Atlanta. I am. I love Bijan that much. I don't necessarily know that he moves the needle for points-wise that much, but I'm willing to almost risk it. I closer to the season, I want to see what Ritter is, or even if they decide to put Heineke in, would be kind of funny. So Atlanta right now is probably the one that I would go with, but I think that they do win the NFC South. The Buccaneers, as you can see, I got 8-9. Not fucking 0-17 like everybody thought I was going to put them.
I thought you were going to put 4 or 5 wins.
I wish, I hope. Yeah, see right there. I kind of do too, in a weird way. And only because I want Drake May. I want a new quarterback prospect. I want what every other franchise is starting to do. I want to start young. I want a new offensive coordinator who is possibly going to come in and just tear shit up. I want someone.
Well, you got the OC. You got your new OC. You said you wanted a new OC. You got your new OC.
Okay, we have a new OC. We have a new OC. Is he my brand new gonna fucking 5,000 yard season for fucking Kyle Trask? No. Is he gonna be Is he gonna be good and utilize the players that he has? Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
And Baker Mayfield probably will too. I'm more on the Baker Mayfield. Baker's probably gonna start, and I'm really not happy about it. I wish we were playing Pittsburgh this year because then it would be like Baker versus Pittsburgh, and then I'd be a little bit happier. But
yeah, sorry about that, Scott.
Yeah, I see that one at Hendon Hooker. When he was there available to your Rams, like I said, Alex was shaking. He's like, I don't ever want to hear.
I was like, son of a bitch.
I think Atlanta will be the Titans of the NFC South. That running game is going to be awesome. I think we talked about that on the last show or the show before that, where I think it was Sean that was asking, like, what do you do then with Cordell Patterson? And I'm like, you put him back to what he does best, utilization player. You're next. Percy Harvin, Laviska Sano, all those guys. Yep. Kadarius Toney, who's literally like a utility weapon and a number 1 beat. So you can do whatever the heck you want with him.
My only thing to counter the Titans of the South, who the hell is Bijan running behind? because
they have a good offensive line.
They've got an average offensive line. I wouldn't go as far to say they're even good.
How dare you?
They've got a couple really good players,
Do
but
you,
as
do
a
you
solid
think
5,
do you think they would be a top 16 offensive line?
that's iffy.
Okay, because I might sniff you out closer to the season in Dynasty. Stand by it now, because I got faith in Atlanta's offensive line. Out of all the things in Atlanta, that's like the one where I'm like, everyone expects like all the other things to flourish. I'm like, remember that the Indianapolis Colts a few years ago, like even banged up, and I think they skimmed into the playoffs there with Phillip Rivers or whatever. I'm like, that offensive line was awesome. Like they allowed that old dude to flourish.
You had 3 or 4 first-round picks. You had an all-pro guard, an all-pro center. Like, that offensive line was loaded. You've got...
Lindstrom is a Pro Bowler.
I was just going to say, you've got one guy that's Pro Bowl caliber on that offensive line. Jake Matthews used to be. He's washed. He's not anymore.
Yes, he used
Caleb
to.
McGarry is
number one overall
awful right
pick.
tackle.
Yes,
Caleb McGarry is an awful right tackle. And I'm an offensive line guy. I couldn't even tell you the center and right guard for the Falcons.
Didn't they get McGlinchey, though? I thought they got McGlinchey.
No, McGlinchey went to the Broncos. They kept McGarry.
That's right.
They had so much potential to build that offensive line, and they didn't do it.
It'd still be better than Arizona's.
A little bit.
Okay. I mean, and then
Arizona has more Pro Bowl caliber guys. Just saying.
True, that is true.
Because they've got 2 instead of 1. But
people play good football behind Stetson Bennett. I mean, fair. Isn't a great one, but it's good enough. Their trenches are constantly underrated. Well, yeah. Their defense, I think, is what's going to win them games too. Like the fact that they got, the trenches are really, really good. The 5th round pick, Jarrett, there is absolutely insane. But
the defensive line is going to be unreal this year.
And the secondary, like they got Jesse Bates, they got Terrell, they got
AJ Terrell,
a couple other guys out there too. They just drafted a guy as well in the 2nd or 3rd round. That's pretty good. So
if Okuda remembers how to play football,
that's the other one I was thinking about too. Yeah.
Now here's going back to that offensive line. Mm-hmm. I forgot they drafted Matthew Bergeron, so they'll have 2 good players on that offensive line.
Okay, so there we go.
Still 1 Pro Bowl caliber guy, but 2 good guys.
Fair enough. Getting close to the end here, ladies and gentlemen. Got about 5 minutes left. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to get off the air so that Ben can go on. He usually goes on to 8. Or is he live right now?
I didn't see anything pop up.
I was going to say, I think, he still goes live at 8:30. I think that's what he does. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. One of the other reasons, too, is because I don't know if Alex can taste it in the air right now, but we are under a very poor air advisory right now.
Yep.
My jokes are not sitting well with the forests, and the forests aren't sitting well with the fire, and oh my God, man. So it's all kinds of fucked up. The one thing I did want to say about Dynasty is we are going to work on rankings and getting them up for everybody. Like on the page somehow, so everybody can kind of see at least me and Alex's ratings when we start getting into the season. We'll try and update it weekly. I'm actually trying to work on a program on Excel. On Excel, but like to put it up so people can see ours, so I can just copy paste, because I'm slowly learning how to do Excel properly. Round of applause. I'm trying to do adult stuff, which after this, I'm just going to go indulge in a bunch of cannabis, which is not necessarily the most adult thing. And I was going to say some naughty things, but I haven't been drinking. I've just been on a lot of caffeine right now. So I just letting things roll off the tongue, like roll up the rim to win. You don't even roll up the rim anymore in Canada on this shit.
No, it's stupid.
So dumb.
It's stupid.
It is so dumb. To anybody out there, all you Americans who are like, wait a second, I know about this roll up the rim shit. What is this roll up the rim shit? The roll up the rim shit is Tim Hortons, which I don't even drink Tim Hortons anymore. I don't know about you. Anytime I drink their coffee or have a donut, I just don't, my gut's like, the fuck?
I'm not a coffee person, so I can't answer to that one. But
wait, what?
Yeah, I don't drink coffee.
Okay, now I never actually seen you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
I've just never been a coffee person.
Have you drank it before?
Yeah. I've tried it a few times. Yeah.
And it just no.
Yeah, just like not for me.
Alex,
Scott, I'm working on getting Blake Corum's signature for a Michigan jersey right now. So
from Janae there.
From Janae, yeah.
Yeah. Well, eventually when the cards come out from this year's rookies and stuff like that, I think on Squid Rip Cards you'll probably have a chance to get his autograph. After Alex gets a bunch of them and we find rook or doubles and shit like that, then we will probably send you one as well. You promised Kim Hender you would stop. I never promised her that at all. No. Fuck no. No. And then don't drink coffee, Alex Usmo. There are cures for that, sir. Now, I will say this.
An issue.
I will say this actually. Kim, when we first moved in together, I had the coffee, like the old school coffee pot, because it was kind of around the transition of the coffee pot to the Keurig, which now I'm just looking at. I'm like, man, I've been around for some weird transitions, like the whole cell phone thing and the Keurig thing. My toaster now is an air fryer and shit. Like, oh, there goes the 10. Almost had it for the whole show.
You almost fucking did it.
Right. And I used to make a pot of coffee and just like let it sit there, like drink it in the morning and stuff. And she hated the smell of it, like just lofting through the house. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I love the smell of coffee.
Oh, she used to drink it all the time, like in ice caps and shit. So she was like, nope, I quit, blah, 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 blah. And she did, like, props to her. But then obviously I started drinking it because we got together and she's like, okay, I'm gonna start drinking. And then she realized that she liked the creamers. At least she had her creamer phase back in the day. Like our fridge was like, we had 3 or 4 different fucking flavors every time.
Well,
which is fine. Like,
yeah.
I've had, stuff kind of like that. I've had different drinks and shit like that. So like it is what it is. But yeah, now she drinks coffee all the time. Whoa, is that actually is that her? Is that
that's
actually
got
her?
it. I'm gonna go take a look, but
is that no? Yeah, I see false. Yeah, no, that is her. No, bro, if you're listening to me right now, don't even. You hated when I made that pot of coffee before. Don't you even try coming into my show and calling me out in front of the fans. Look at this.
You're getting exposed.
Also, yes. Sorry, Christopher Cole. We actually meant to put this in the post. I was trying to make something up actually at the end. But I think Ben Cornett was going to also talk about it a little bit tonight. So rip yes to Jim Brown, the greatest running back of all time, depending on who you are and what generation. But he was a feared man. I'm so old I can't even taste coffee, but I drink. Holy crap!
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. This thing right here, Alex knows what this is.
That's my caffeine.
Yeah, this is Alex. That work has done things to you, but it's done things to me too. This is like, I think 4 cups of coffee in one. I think something like that. But it's so good. It's so good. And I've had such a long day. Shots fired from room to room. I think she's upstairs right now too. I did quit both coffee and alcohol for years. Yes, Juju, but now I drink them both each.
So in a regular cup of coffee is about 40 milligrams of caffeine, so that's almost 5.
Oh my god! And she's watching my show now, and be like, "Bro, yes, the can is empty. I know you wanted some too. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, now I'm gonna get
son of a bitch.
Much wow.
So, and we're gonna show up on the show next week with a bruised eye, like black eye, and like. Gonna catch you with the like elbows. Like.
So check this out to everybody tuning in. So I had a cool idea and I threw in the comment section or in the group chat today, and Alex and Kyle were like, "What?"
See, as soon as you explained it and like looked it up, I understood right away. But I was like, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
I was at work and I literally just brought up Celebrity Squares, and then my shirt was on for NSD, and I had just talking about my show and how we do random things, and I come up with some games, and then my coworker goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "No, yeah. Huh, this could work." And then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, wait a second. I do impressions and I got a few costumes and like I could just have a couple things set up, right? And I'm like, I can do celebrity squares where you go and like, so I would be the host for a second and then I would like pop off camera and like come back and be like, you know, say like Gilbert Gottfried and be like, I wish that people would just fuck off when I'm trying not to talk like a parrot. You know what I mean? Like just like things like that. And then it'd be like, okay, well, the question was, how many MVPs has Peyton Manning won? It'd be like, his fucking forehead has won some MVPs. Does that count? Like just like things like that. You know what I mean? So, and then so I would say like 4. And then if it was to Alex, then Alex would be like, I agree or I disagree. They'd be correct or incorrect. I actually don't know how many is. What is it? 1, 4? Is it 5?
5, I want to say.
I want to say 5. It's 4 or 5. It's one of the two. Coffee makes me puke, Christopher Cole says. And I need it, or at least the caffeine. You know, because cocaine is still illegal up here. We're trying. I'm voting.
5.
Okay, it is 5. Okay. So yeah, look at you.
There we go.
Yeah. Cocaine is still illegal up here. I'm voting for Daddy Trudeau again in hopes that we get cocaine this time. That would be great. We got cannabis already. Mushrooms are now decriminalized in most places. So Trudeau 2024 for cocaine. Woo! Alex does not support any of the views.
I was just going to say the thoughts and opinions of Andrew Alberta.
If your dad or mom were watching right now, they'd be like, listen, Alex, you just got to stop doing that NSD show, man.
I'm going to say you might have like Evan and Jalen come barreling down the stairs if they're watching. Like,
we're going to come take your guns. No, I'm just kidding.
Easy there, Seabiscuit.
This is an old Chinese movie. I see Andrew's mouth moving out of sync with the sound. Oh, I wonder. Am I?
It's fine. It's fine on my end.
Really?
Yeah.
Batting boys have the biggest heads in football. I agree. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I agree that it's time to get out of here. The air is literally burning where we are. So pray actually for Alberta. All jokes aside, pray for Alberta. There's a lot of shit going on in this province right now. There's a lot of fires. Health advisory for your lungs or for the air and shit like that. So everybody be safe, of course. No fires this weekend. It's May long weekend. Everybody's trying to get the hell out of here. Nobody start having fires. Like, for the love of fucking God, if you light a fucking fire, I hope and pray to fucking God that Smokey the Bear fucks you.
Wow. Okay.
I hope he takes an axe to your fucking skull, man. And just skull. Literally. If you light a fire in any place in Alberta, so help me God, I'll fucking find you, you Flame fans. Fuckers. They suck. Every single last one of them. No, it doesn't suck, though. You, the fans, ladies and gentlemen of NSD, thank you all for tuning in. Kim, Smokey the Bear. Thank you all for tuning in. Tonight was a lot of fun. Alex is back. He was free. We had Kyle on from a fucking bathtub, for crying out loud. Alberta strong. Yes, Johnny, thank you so much. Ben is on now. That's one of the reasons we're actually popping off here. I like to share the airways. Yes, Kim said Smokey the Bear as well. So thank you all again for being here. Alex, thank you again for being on. To everybody out there, much love. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for following. NSD, as always, is live on Friday nights, depending on my mental state. Listen, if the only way I'm going to get better is by joking about it, okay? And if I hit my head...
Hey, you Chief.
I mean, right. And if I hit my head on the corner of the desk at just the right angle, I forget that I even said things like that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in. Like, share, follow. NSD will be live next week with a bunch of the shows that we got. Shout out to Restoring the Roar, Off the Boards, Terribly Toxic, and Maple Buck Show, which I might do tomorrow. We'll see what happens. See how the air is and stuff like that. Much love to Will Smith's husband, and have a great one, everybody. We'll see you next week. Ciao for now.